$1.7 trillion deficit. Is Bitcoin the answer? Question everything. Trust nothing. Welcome to Debate Crypto. It's your boys, Keeper and Crusader, here on a Sunday fun day. Not so fun for me. I'm a little bit sick. If you can't hear from my voice, Crusader, how are you, good sir?
Yeah, well, do it on.
Not a whole lot, bro. Missed church. Well, I didn't miss it. I just watched it. Watched online. The beauty of 2023. Everything's virtual. Speaking of virtual, you guys better be watching Trading Wars because it starts when, Crusader?
Tomorrow, 2:45 p.m. Eastern time.
2:45, guys. We keep reminding you of that. I know our show has been 3 o'clock, but we're going to go live at 2:45. The reason for that, we're going to do about 15 minutes of an intro/strategy. And I think you're going to want to be there for that so that you can kind of hear the minds of what the traders are thinking as a team, as individuals, kind of what they are planning on doing. Maybe you guys can learn something off of that. Also wanted to make an announcement. Crusader and I have been talking in the background about some things, trying to even the playing field a little bit with the professional traders versus the people trading against them. Not only are we going to give you 24/7 trading, you guys can trade any market cap you want, and that's huge. We're making the traders do a $2 billion at least, and the reason for it, guys, is because we're not going to have the SEC knocking at the door saying we were pumping and dumping tokens. Okay, the reality is we have high enough caliber trading people on here that if we just traded anything, people could say we were in the background, front running trades, discussing things before the show, et cetera, et cetera. But on a $2 billion or more market cap, that's just not a reality. Crusader, what do you think about the change there? Does this change the ball game for the traders too? I mean, I feel like we're giving them a lot of advantages.
It definitely changes, right? It definitely changes the landscape of the game, right? They're very restricted. The pro traders are restricted to the top 29 and making something happen, right? They're forcing trades throughout that hour or so. You guys have all 30 days to trade unlimited, whatever market cap, right? And there's another little bonus that we're throwing in there, which is going to be super chats, right? You guys can drop a super chat. We'll let you guys know later what the actual dollar amount will be. We're going to have a requirement. You guys can throw in a super chat with the dollar amount required. And if you do, you can pick one of the traders that are live right now to give you an analysis on a possible trade or something that you're looking at throughout your 30-day challenge to try to help you out. And there's going to be a limitation on, right? There's about 4 or 5 traders every show. There's only going to be about 5 super chats allowed, one for each trader picked, because we don't want to overwhelm one trader to just be doing analysis all day long.
He's gonna be like, damn, I didn't even get to trade. I just had to analyze all these other people's trades so that they can beat me in the competition. Yeah, so smash that like if you haven't already, guys. Again, Trading Wars starting tomorrow. Super excited. Make sure that you got the bell notifications on. You should get that notification tomorrow at 2:45. We'll have everybody rocking and rolling, ready to go. It's the first show. We're hoping to get a great turnout, so make sure that you guys are there. Ryan wants me to thank you for the super chat. Ryan said, Keeper, play a riff. I will do it for you sometime, bro. You've been asking for a while. I'll definitely grab my guitar and do it sometime. I'm not going to do it right this second, but I'll keep your super chat in mind. I appreciate you, bro. All right, let's jump into the chat. Who was first? Psychedelic Astronaut said, what's up? What's up, brother? Good to see you. Del Monte Man, say yes. Good to see you. I see you in the chat. As I said, Ryan Birchfield as well. So far, everybody's doing well on this Sunday.
Well, one last announcement before we start, right? We're going to be giving away a piece of merch here today at the end of the show, but you need to sign up to Trading Wars, right? You just hit that link in the chat, sign up, and make your deposit, right? What's the limit on the deposit for the giveaway?
It's $100 if they want to get the 20%. They can deposit whatever they want.
Yes,
but it's $100 if you want. I don't know why you wouldn't take advantage of that. It's you get 20% on top of whatever it is you deposit. So literally, if you go crazy with it and you want to get $2,000, put 10 grand. If you go $1,000, you're gonna get $200. Whatever that number is, over $100, you get 20%. And no matter what, you're going to get 20% off all of your trading fees throughout the month, throughout the season. So that's a nice incentive too. If you've been trading before, you know that the fees sometimes get a little bit annoying, right? And so why not take 20% off of those as well?
Yeah, so make sure you guys sign up and make your deposit. We're going to be checking at the end of the stream in the background to see who's signed up, who's made the deposits, and we're going to be choosing one of those people to get a piece of merch.
Let us know if you do sign up in the chat. Toss your UID into the chat. It will tell you what your user ID is so that we can just confirm it. And then we'll either DM you on Twitter or Discord. We'll figure out where we want to do that and figure somebody out to get a little merch out too. So, all right, cool. Let's dive in, see what the markets are doing. It's the weekend, but we had some big news with Grayscale coming. Actually, before I pull this, Crusader, did you expect to see a big move after Grayscale or after the SEC said that they weren't going to challenge the Grayscale court decision?
I didn't expect 30K, but I did expect for us to at least hold 27, and we didn't. We really didn't. We hit 27.1, and then we dumped right there and then.
Yeah. And also, because I expected a little bit of a move just in anticipation, and there was an article talking about how it was all priced in. Like, I don't know how how this is where these articles get me sometimes. How do you price in trillions with a T when the whole crypto market cap is 1 trillion? Now you have the potential of trillions of dollars coming into one asset. How do you price that in and say that the price doesn't move?
It's already priced in $12 trillion of,
and we're staying at 26K. It is ridiculous. All right, cool. Let's check out the market. The global market cap is at 1.05 trillion with the T dollars. That's up 0.46%. Let me update just to make sure that's still good. Oh, no, it was not. 0.07, damn near flat. 26,899 for Bitcoin. ETH is at 1553. Down almost 5% on the week. Things have just been struggling. BNB's at 209. It's up a little bit right now. XRP at 48 cents. Shoot, even USDC's under $1. Oh, nope, just went back. Whew, our bags are safe. Solana's at $21.73. We have a ridiculous, or I look at it as a ridiculous article regarding Solana, and I almost would veer to say the Cardano one might be a little dicey as well. We've got a Solana and a Cardano article that we're going to go into today. That could be kind of interesting. I'd love to see the Cardano one come to fruition. Dogecoin at 5 cents. Tron at 8 cents, rounding out the top 10. All right. What do we want to start off with first? Let's start with Bitcoin, dude. We always have Bitcoin leading the way. Let's kick it off with that. So Bitcoin, you guys know, is always the market leader. Have you used the Lightning Network? Bitcoin Lightning Network sees 1,212% growth in routed transactions in 2 years, according to Bitcoin Tech Company. The Lightning Network has seen massive transaction growth in the past 2 years, despite Bitcoin's bearish price action, according to a Bitcoin technology company. River, a company that offers Bitcoin brokerage and custody services, looked at data from the operators of nodes comprising 52% of the public capacity of the Lightning Network, a layer 2 solution for Bitcoin that aims to address scalability issues. River estimates a lower bound of 6.6 million routed Lightning transactions this August, noting that the upper bound estimate could be several times that number, but isn't quantifiable because there wasn't data available for transactions between only 2 participants or private transactions. Routed transactions involve more than 2 nodes. I like this. It says gaming, social media, tipping, and streaming are behind 27% of the network's transaction growth. And the firm noted that the Lightning Network is processing at least 47% of Bitcoin's on-chain transactions on a daily basis. So almost half of it is going through the Lightning Network. Crusader, explain to people who haven't used the Lightning Network. We know it's a layer 2. We know it's for scalability. Why would someone use the Lightning Network? Why is it getting almost half of the transaction volume on that network?
Well, it batches up everything on a side chain, right, off chain of the main network, and then it brings it back to Bitcoin. It also adds an extra level of privacy because of the way it routes all the transactions, and it's being routed to a new node, or there's a new node being created that's nobody's ever sent money in that direction. So it starts compressing all these different addresses and transactions together, and then it bundles them all up, right, and puts them back on the main chain of Bitcoin. So it adds an extra level of privacy, and it just makes things fast and quick and easy. People in other countries, El Salvador, Africa, You know, a lot of different places are going to stores, they're buying ice cream, they're buying day-to-day stuff with their Bitcoin Lightning Network wallets, and they're just scanning at the register, boom, money sent instantly, and it's done. And there's a lot of incentive to do that.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't see how people are not bullish on the Bitcoin Lightning Network. I know a lot of people haven't really paid attention to it. I know it's been around since 2017, but you know, it hasn't really taken off till around this bear market time that people haven't been paying attention. But there's a lot happening there, a lot.
Yeah, kind of a different way to look at it. If you guys are more familiar with ETH, a lot of people are familiar with ETH because of all of the NFTs, et cetera, that that they've messed around with, moving money around that way. It's kind of like Polygon on ETH, right? It is a faster, cheaper solution to the Ethereum network. And so in the same exact way, the Lightning Network is doing the exact same thing. So they can take these Bitcoin transactions that usually take a lot more time and turn it into literally an instant thing. And that's what's being used at the stores, as Crusader said. When you've seen somebody buying coffee and buying different things with actually Bitcoin, that's what they're using, because it's boom, it's done. And it's incredibly, incredibly cheap. I think I saw somebody buy, I don't know if it was a watch or a piece of the necklace, some sort of jewelry, and it was a large, transaction. I don't think the actual amount of the transaction matters, but I believe that the price to process the transaction was like 4 or 5 zeros of Bitcoin and then like a 1. I mean, it was damn near nothing to make that transaction go through on what was ultimately a decent priced asset, whatever it was that they were buying. So definitely something to pay attention to. It's going to help Bitcoin continue to grow as people, talk about it being outdated technology and it's slow and it's this and it's that. Hey, it's hard money, ladies and gentlemen. And as you're going to hear later on the stream, we have a lot of problems because we don't have hard money in our world today. So we'll keep paying attention to that. Speaking of Bitcoin, this has been an indicator that has been crossed twice. Now, I challenge whether this is just a coincidence or whether this actually makes a big difference in the space. But Bitcoin has hit this indicator twice. If I could find the article, that would be nice. It is right here. Here we go. In its lifetime. Countdown starts now. Bitcoin crosses key bullish indicator for second time in history. The value of Bitcoin has experienced a correction, but the maiden crypto continues to trade in a familiar range below 30K. Meanwhile, technical indicators suggest that Bitcoin is poised for a rally based on historical price patterns. In this context, a crypto analyst using the pseudonym The Scalping Pro pointed out in an X Twitter post on October 15th that Bitcoin's moving average convergence divergence, the MACD, has just undergone its second bullish cross after crossing below the zero line. It's worth noting that such an occurrence has only happened once before in the history of Bitcoin, back in 2016. This pivotal movement was followed by a significant bull run that substantially increased Bitcoin's price the following year. And then they note right here where this bullish cross happened. And then, it was going to move the whole chart. I thought I was going to be able to highlight some of that. Basically, it happened right here. The bullish cross happened on the MACD. Bam, all the way up towards the top. And then right after, you have the bearish cross on the way back down. Right now, we have the bullish cross that just happened.
What time frame is that?
Are we headed back up to the top? I can't tell on here. It doesn't say. Doesn't show the time chart. Let me see if it says.
I didn't fully understand what's so bullish about the MACD being crossed over. That happens all the time.
Well, it says a strong MACD bullish cross occurs when it crosses below the zero line. I don't know what the zero line is. It must be something to do with this zero line right here. The signal line, the MACD crossing, because you have MACDs cross all the freaking time.
Yeah.
Currently in 2023, MACD crossed bullish below the zero line for the second time. So I don't know. We'll probably have to ask one of our traders tomorrow what it says. Remember, while the MACD signals long-term trend change, short-term fluctuations are normal. Prices might move sideways or even go slower on the LTF before the bull run begins. Yeah, I'm not really sure. It doesn't show the timeline, doesn't show any of that. So you tell me, Crusader. I freaking don't know. I just know that they're saying it's the second time in history it's happened. The last time it happened, it absolutely ripped. Are we going to see it happen again? I don't know.
Maybe there's a lot of first time. There's a lot of things happening that haven't happened before or have only happened a few times before, right? Like October being a green month after a green September is usually what happens, right? We've only had a red October and a green September one time in 2012 in the history of Bitcoin, but maybe we do it again, right? Maybe we close red this month. I still think we can close green because we're so close on the
It is
TK.
close.
Like all we gotta be is like above like 27 to 1 or something like that to close green. It'll be a small green candle, but it'll be green nonetheless. And usually Q4 is a good quarter for Bitcoin. And now with the anticipation of the spot ETF for January 10th, which is really really right around
around
the
the
corner.
corner. Yeah.
There could be a lot of it, build up towards that. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, hash rates are definitely up. Miners are doing well. There's a lot of bullish indicators for the space right now. That being said, you still have a lot of people waiting for, with macroeconomically, just the things happening in the world today, wars, etc., to see whether we're actually going to see a big dump before that move up. I don't know. I still won't be surprised if that does happen. I'm going to look at it as an opportunity. Maybe it'll be shorting wars if that starts to happen. I know. Let's see, tomorrow should be, if so,
Volatile day.
yeah, so tomorrow should get, supposedly, according to what a lot of different people have been talking about, tomorrow could get dicey. I'm wondering whether we should both, maybe I'll take a long, you take a short, out of the company
Schlong.
trading account. We'll take a schlong,
Schlong.
and maybe we can set some tight stops and win either way on a schlong.
I don't know, man. It's gonna be interesting play, right? Because I can see the narrative for why they should not dump Bitcoin before this spot ETF. So that way, when investors come in and they open up the ETF, whether it's in January or whatever, right? You don't want to have it just had dumped 50% or 40% or 30% a month before and be at lows, right? Because that kind of doesn't feel confident. Like, hey, why?
So I can feel confident for the markets of what
Yeah,
everybody's trying to.
this thing just started dumping a while ago. I don't think I feel confident buying this right now. So I would think that staying green around the 20K range or a little bit higher before then would make it a confident move. Like, hey, this thing's moving. This thing's been outperforming gold. This thing's been outperforming the S&P 500. Like, let's get it. But I can also see the reason for it to dump, right? Because if they do dump it, they can say, hey, we're about to hit yearly all-time lows here. Like, this is a great time to be buying it up, to get in at amazingly low prices. So I can see, I guess it depends on who's selling it and how they're selling it to their investors. They can navigate those waters. So
How this goes. There's always a way to spin information, so it could go either way, and they're going to pitch it in that manner. Oh, it's great, huge opportunity if it dumps. Oh, look at it, it's freaking bullish, it's going to the moon, huge opportunity. They're going to spin it either way. So I can see both of those happening too. Smash the like if you haven't already, fam. We got about 32 people in here. Thank you guys for being here. Just want to remind everybody, we announced at the start of the stream a couple things. One, if you sign up during the stream today for Trading Wars and deposit at least $100, you're going to get 20% on top of whatever you deposit. So if it's $100, you get 20, $1,000, you get 200, et cetera, et cetera. We're also going to be giving away some merch to somebody that does that during the stream today. So toss your UID in if you guys go ahead and sign up. The link is pinned in the chat. Trading Wars does start tomorrow at 2:45. And as a reminder, if you're going to trade against the traders to try to win that at least $1,000, depending on how high the trading volume gets, that number could get bigger. But right now it's at $1,000 for the winner. If you're going to trade against them, we have the $2 billion market cap set for the traders, and they can only trade within the hour time frame. We're going to let you guys trade anything you want, and you can trade 24/7. So we're trying to open this up. We want to make this incredibly challenging for the traders to be able to beat you and have fun with it in the meantime while we're pressing people to actually make trades. So make sure that you guys are here to check that out, and get involved, have some fun with it. Let's do some trading for sure. All right, moving forward, another asset that has a cult-like following. Crusader and I both hold this asset. I'll tell you that. I think Crusader holds a little more than I do. We were not going to talk about XRP, but that's a good point. At least you say you don't. Cardano takes the lead with groundbreaking development activity. Can the ADA price go to $12? Are we going to start getting these huge freaking numbers again, dude? All these articles.
So. Let's get it, baby.
The latest data demonstrates that Cardano is making headways in the cryptosphere. Cardano has topped all other crypto projects, becoming the blockchain with the most significant development activity. This is a huge feat for the so-called Ethereum killer. Interestingly, Ethereum held the 10th position in terms of developer activity. Recent data from Sentiment revealed that Cardano successfully usurped Polkadot and Kusama, taking the lead as the blockchain with the highest development activity taking place in its public GitHub repositories. Cardano recorded 611.47 notable GitHub commits over the past 30 days to lead other projects. Polkadot and Kusama have each recorded 500.67 GitHub commits during the same time period, tying for second place. So here's the top 10. Cardano, this is basically just development on their networks. Cardano, Polkadot, Kusama, both tied for 2. Dara Hashgraph, Vega Protocol, never heard of it. Chainlink, ETH status, okay. Dfinity, obviously know what ICP is. Cosmos, know what that is, and obviously know what ETH is. Do you know what this one is? SNT or Vega Protocol?
Vega Protocol. The only reason why I recognize that name is because it was on the water bottles of the Bitcoin conference.
Okay.
They sponsored something. I think they're proof of work mining crypto, but I don't know what it is that they.
I don't know what they actually do.
Yeah.
$12. Bro, we're at, hold on a second. What are we at right now?
We're at 24 cents or something, dude.
It's almost a 50x.
I mean, it's.
Let me tell you what that market.
It did like 125x last time.
I know it did, but damn.
So
what from 2 cents? But from 2 cents, the market cap would be
$3.
The market cap would be 400. Basically, it would be $400 billion. It would be
at $12.
400 billion, which would be, just to be clear, that would be 2.2 times the current ETH market cap. Currently. Now I'm just saying currently.
Yeah, currently. Obviously, the Ethereum market cap will be.
I mean, Cardano's at $8.6 billion trading market cap right now. Yeah, it would be literally be over.
There's speculation that with this next bull run, the institutional run, that the entire market cap of crypto could reach about $10 trillion. The entire market cap.
Right, but that's a 10x for
Ethereum holds about 20% of that, so Ethereum could hit like 2 trillion market cap.
Okay.
Cardano being in the top 10, top 12, whatever it's at,
just seems like a massive move.
I agree. It is a massive move, but outside of Ethereum, what other smart contract platform is as competitive for Ethereum? I know Solana's doing this thing. They got a lot of VC money going on, but there's been a lot of stuff built. And you know how they think they can get there?
How?
If they add a burning mechanism, just how Ethereum has. I think if Cardano adds an upgrade at some point before this bull run or during the middle of the bull run, right at peak times, and really start burning Cardano, just how Ethereum did, and go deflationary, I think we can reach those prices.
But Charles Hoskinson has always been the guy to say, I don't care what the token price is. I just want to build on the network, blah, 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 blah. Wouldn't that be against his direct thesis?
It wouldn't be about I think it's not about the price in that aspect, adding a deflationary aspect to it. I think it's about, when you do that, it adds a level of confidence to the holders, because you can continuously build and build and build forever while it's still deflationary, right?
Yeah.
And the deflationary system doesn't have to be anything wild. Just the more activity you get on the chain, the more deflationary you get, right? Ethereum was deflationary. Now it's inflationary because the activity is down, right? So the supply can still be growing and shrinking depending where we're at in the market. I think it'd be a great idea for a deflationary burning aspect to be added to Cardano. There's a lot of NFT activity on there. There's a lot of development and dApps being built, and I think it's primed for this next bull run to really take off, like how Solana took off in its NFT marketplace and its NFTs and stuff. there's a lot of Cardano NFTs being built in the bear market that weren't really built in the bull run because it didn't have smart contracts launched until the later part of the bull run.
Yeah, and the next one, the other, I mentioned kind of two what I thought to be ridiculous kind of call outs in terms of prices. The next
Even
one
if it
is,
doesn't hit $12, let's say it hits $7.
it's a huge move.
That's a massive move.
Yeah,
Let's shrink it down to $5, right? Let's do the XRP thing, the $5, right?
It's a 20x. It's a 20x from right now.
How massive is that, right? It's
Yeah.
24 cents right now.
Yeah,
Hitting $5, I think, is
$5 would put it at the same market cap as what ETH is at right now.
And I don't think that's out of the question, right? I think that's a simple ask from Cardano. It hit $3 last time. I understand that it is inflationary. There's been supply growth. So that's why I'm saying not even a 2 times from
it's an interesting idea. I actually have thought through this. I think that because as we have the exponential, size of the markets grow, you have diminishing returns. And I've said this to you privately. I don't know if I've said this on the stream or not, but I think Bitcoin's going to flirt with 100K, maybe go 20 or 30K higher, maybe stay right below 100K. I don't think we're going to see a 200 plus K Bitcoin. I just don't. I could see maybe 150, but at any event, what I'm getting at is if Bitcoin doubles in price, if ETH doubles in price from its all-time high before, so ETH would basically go just south of 10K, Bitcoin would go just south of 150. It'd be like at 140. And then as we get farther down, just like it's always been, those smaller and smaller caps, those a 2x becomes a 3x. A 3x is a 6x. A 6 gets a 12. As the market caps are smaller and smaller, they just have more movement because there's the cap is not so freaking huge right now that it takes that much money inflow or that much inflows to be able to grow at that rate. It would be very interesting because we're at $1 trillion right now. Here's what I guess what I'm getting at is I don't see a world where we go to 10 trillion and effectively everything 10x's. We'd have a $15,000 ETH. We'd have, but we'd only have a $2.50 Cardano, right? We'd have a $260,000 Bitcoin, but we'd only have a $5 XRP. I guess I'm just saying, like, if the whole market if we go to 10 trillion, I think we're going to see a big disparity where a bunch of alts make some huge freaking moves and Bitcoin moves 200% or ETH moves 300% or 400% and not that whole massive amount on the front end.
It's gonna be interesting, man, because this whole time Bitcoin and Ethereum, the entire market cap has been moved by retail, right?
Yeah.
And whales and some rich people and maybe some institutional players that are hitting the background or whatever, right? Has moved the markets all this time through these massive numbers. Now we're officially opening the floodgates to institutional players as they open up the Bitcoin Spot ETF. There's a lot of hype behind an Ethereum Spot ETF. Maybe we get one of those later. Who knows? I think Ethereum and Bitcoin are going to become institutional players where all the money is going to be flying in there. And people are going to be priced out of Bitcoin. They mostly are already. So they're not buying Bitcoin. Ethereum's next. And even then, there's a lot of people not buying Ethereum from how pricey it is. People see a big number and they're like, oh, I can't even buy a full coin. It's a lot of money. Maybe it'll hit 8x, right? It'll go up to $8,000 or whatever, give or take. I want something more. I think a lot of retail, a lot of people that are in the crypto space
play with those
are going to start playing with smaller caps, right? They're going to start playing into the alts. They're not going to be playing in Ethereum. They're not going to be playing in Bitcoin. And when I say playing, I mean investing. I'm not saying like people aren't going to buy NFTs on Ethereum. Right. But I think retail is going to start investing in smaller caps, right? Like Cardano, like Solana, many other smaller market caps. And I think that's where the money flow that has been moving the crypto spaces this whole entire time is going to go. And the institutional players are going to throw the trillions at Bitcoin and Ethereum, while retail starts throwing all their hype and money behind the altcoins. And that's where I think we could see high $1 trillion market cap overall and still see some massive moves in the altcoin space. I don't know. It's just one of these things. It's going to be very different than we've ever seen before.
I want to touch something real quick in the chat. Al, just to be clear, so he's asking if anybody got their 20%. So Al, I'll double check with ZoomX, but I believe you actually have to go in and claim it. Like, I think there's I think it's the same way, Crusader, that the other guys
you need to go into, if you made a deposit, whatever it is. I think it only works for your first deposit too. By
and
the way.
that, oh yeah, Al did like a $15 deposit, didn't he?
Yeah, I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure it only works on your first deposit. You have to go to the rewards tab under the account. It says my rewards or something. Click on there, and there's going to be like rewards for doing certain challenges, and there's going to be another tab of rewards for you to claim. You have to click there.
You got to claim it. Yeah, you have to claim it. And Al, just throwing it out there, dude. I'm gonna throw out just an idea for you. If because you did the $15 to play around with it at first, and it needed to be over $100 like we had told you guys or whatever, if it is that, just set up another account and do it over there. Just throwing it out there. I want you to get your 20%, okay? Because they're giving it for sure. I do believe it's just in the reward center, as Crusader said. So sign up, guys. We're giving away some merch today. If you guys sign up today, tomorrow's your UID in there, because tomorrow is D-Day. It is the day that the trading starts. I am pumped. I'm hoping to get a ton of people in there tomorrow, talk some trash, have some fun. We have a dashboard up for you guys to pay attention to. We'll kind of know where everybody's at. What we do need, Crusaders, we need some team names, bro. Let's talk about it real quick. It's Sunday. We need some team names. So chat. What's that?
Wasn't your team the Grays?
The Grays.
Isn't that said on the stream the other day?
Oh, I didn't see that. It wouldn't surprise me, because me and all my old buddies,
all bunch of great haired old men. Just
don't let the old guys, don't let the canes, the old guys carrying around their canes beat your young bucks. Chat, if you guys think you got any good names for us, for Keeper or Crusader or both, toss them into the chat. We'll talk about it. Whatever. Obviously, right now we just said Team Keeper, Team Crusader, whatever, to make it simple. I think it would be fun if we could come up with a, little name, but whatever, just throwing it out there.
We'll let the chat decide.
Throw it out there. Let us know what you think, or you can hit us up on Twitter. If you guys aren't following us on Twitter, make sure that you follow us there. It's Debate Crypto OG. Make sure you're following us on there. We got a lot going on there too. All right, so here's the other price prediction that I was kind of laughing at, that I alluded to 10 minutes ago, and now we're getting on it. $461 Solana price target is on the table if ETH does this the next bull cycle. All right, so basically what this says is, the host of Invest Answer says that basically the best case for Solana is that it could reach 10% of ETH's market cap during the next expansion. But so under the presumption that ETH tops out at 8K in the next bull market, he theorized that if Solana were at 10%, it hit 231. But if it reaches 20%, then you're getting that $462. Here's his thesis. It says if, which has always been part of my thesis, Solana goes to 20% of the ETH market cap, that would take us to $192 billion market cap. And given today's prices and the number of tokens, that would take the price to $461. That would be an ROI of about 2,038%. And that would be only 5%, approximately, the crypto market cap. So it's not beyond the realm of possibilities at all. You want to know why I hate these when they do this like this, Crusader? Because honestly, dude, they're just speculating solely on,
there's a lot of,
here's an all-time high. We've seen this before. We should go up this much. And then it's been to 10% of that asset before, or it's been higher than 10% of that asset before. So why can't it go there again? But there's also a lot of assets that were topping the charts for years that are kind of like Houdini.
I mean, a lot of people are speculating for a big comeback for Solana, just because they got so much hate in the last bear market, throughout the bear market, because of the FTX situation, that they believe that there is going to be a lot of hype going in. There's a lot of things happening with Solana NFTs, I guess. Those Solana NFT communities were really strong. I don't know, man. I was never big into Solana.
All that VC money was last time, so I'm wondering if they still got their some bags loaded and they're trying to make some of that money back.
I wouldn't be surprised. I've never been a fan of Solana. I don't like Solana. I don't think I've
actually used the network. Have you?
For what?
To see if it turns off during transaction.
See if it's on. Hey, let me see if this thing's on. I mean, that's the biggest problem with Solana, is turning on and off thing. If you're playing any NFT games or anything on the blockchain, you're playing using any dApps, nothing just shuts down. Like that's gonna ruin whatever it is that's working on there. I don't know, man. Never been a fan of Solana. Not saying that it can't make it to $200 or maybe $400. Who knows? They can do anything wild, right? Any time amount of VC money and marketing. That's all it takes during the bear market, during the bull market. If you get a good amount of marketing dollars and you spend it wisely and create enough hype around something and create a product to make it pump, it's gonna pump. Because a bunch of new people are gonna come in that have never heard of Solana. They're gonna
Oh, the marketing is where it's at.
$20 Solana and hear all these amazing things and how great it is, and all these big heads in the crypto space, or athletes, or the next whatever rapper talking about Solana, and people are gonna be like, oh man, these people are talking about Solana. I'm gonna buy me some $20 Solana, and then off to the races we are, right? So it's all about marketing, and people have short-term memories. People that are been here have forgot, it messed up last cycle because of this and that, but that's over now. It's a new fresh start. That a lot of that happens. So I wouldn't even be surprised if it does break those price numbers, if it gets anywhere near those numbers, because why not? Right? What's stopping it from getting there when all it requires is some good marketing dollars?
You're right. To be fair, when the bull market was absolutely ripping, I woke up every day with like just wildly different numbers and portfolios and trades. And I'm like, holy shit, like I'm really good at this.
We forget how crazy the bull market is, dude.
I'm a genius, bro.
Dude, we forget, like Bitcoin doubling from 20,000 to 40,000 in 1 month. What did that do for the altcoins, dude? The altcoins were running. Anything you would buy would just be boom, instant blast off. You have to wait a couple of days and you're in the profit.
And it made everybody feel so smart.
Dude, it was impossible.
Everybody was a genius, dude.
Yes.
Yeah. For real, if you had any sort of patience at all, you could have got into damn near anything. And just if you had a game plan, even like if in the last bull run, I'll give you an example. If in the last bull run somebody said, all right, I got $1,000 and I'm gonna go asset by asset, and I'm gonna start putting, let's just say they did the whole 1,000. I'm gonna put $1,000 into Bitcoin, or I'm gonna put $1,000 into ETH, or I'm gonna put $1,000 into Solana, or I'm gonna put $1,000 into Cardano, whatever. And when it goes up 10%, boom, I'm taking it. They literally, for the amount of the run, if they had any sort of patience, if they were willing to wait even a couple weeks, dude, it could have been 10% exponentially, 10% on 1,100, 10% on 1210, 10% on 1420. Like it would have just been freaking bad. It would have been banging profits.
Do the math real quick. How exponential can $1,000 taking? How many trades would you have to get 10% on to make that $1,000 into something crazy?
If they were 10%,
yeah, every time
just a straight up 10% hit.
We're in the frenzy of the bull market. Everything's pumping, and every time they hit 10%, they're taking profits. Right? They're pulling out, buying a new one. How many trades would they have to do to get a crazy number? Drop it in the chat. Drop it in the chat if you guys know.
Yeah, you'd probably have to do, maybe, I don't know what you're talking about for a crazy number. But
yeah, let's define what a crazy number is first.
Yeah, what number are you trying to get to?
So we start with 1,000.
Yeah.
A crazy number. Let's start off real crazy. No. I was gonna say 100K, but that's
no, because most people don't have that.
No. I'm saying starting with 1,000 to get 100,000.
Oh, to get 100,000? Well, I can tell you
10% would you have to get 100,000?
I think the answer is lower than you think.
Probably. I'm thinking like 50 trades.
Yeah, it's something like, for sure. I don't even know if it's that many. Hold on a second.
Guys, smash those likes right now. Let's get hyped here. We're literally figuring out how many 10% profit trades you need to take. And we're not even talking about leverage. We're talking about spot, right? We're talking about spot trades here. Do you have to do in this next bull market to make $1,000 into $100,000? And it's really not that impossible to do with how frenzy and crazy it gets in the bull market. So,
dude, pretty quickly. Yeah, and then this is going to get to.
This is a tough one. Keeper got to bring out the calculator.
I did. Well, I mean, I can do it and get close, but it's just easier.
Somebody said 20.
Yeah, dude. It's because all of a sudden what happens is you start to get up to like 10 trades and you're up to like 4K, but now you're adding $400 and then you're adding like it just all of a sudden it just starts freaking going.
So how many?
So I don't know. I'd have to keep adding here.
Oh, you have to keep adding.
There's a formula for it. Somebody can probably tell me what it is in the chat. I don't know what it is off the top of my head, but it's not going to be a ton. It would be less than 50 trades. And it will get
less than 50 trades. Somebody said 20. Somebody said
it
20.
It would get stupid. But at any event, what I'm getting at is the problem is greed, though. And I dealt with it. You've dealt with it. Everybody's dealt with it, right? That you feel you're just like, damn, I can't miss. Well, shoot, I'll go to sleep and it'll be even bigger tomorrow. And then even bigger tomorrow. And even bigger tomorrow. And it is.
They're right. And they're right.
Until they're not.
Until the bull market runs out, right?
Until they're not. And they're like, oh, it's just a temporary. It's just temporary. I'm a hold. It's just temporary. We keep holding. It's just temporary.
Think about it. Bear market right now, right? Nothing's moving. When the bull market starts and we are moving, your first whatever $1,000 you put into whatever asset, right? Getting 10% in the top 20 assets is not hard.
Say that again.
10%. Getting 10% move on a top 20 asset when the bull market starts is not hard.
No,
it's not hard at all. Right, so boom, the bull market starts. You guys are watching right now in the bear market. You guys are already set, right? You guys are already bought in your $1,000. And boom, you go up 10% in profit. You pull. If you ride literally just the first 5 months, 6 months, I would say, heavily paying attention to this strategy of 10% every single time, there's no way that you can't do 20 trades. And we're talking about spot. We're not even talking about leveraging, none of that. Just spot trades, right? Where you're buying something for spot, goes up 10% in the bull run, pulling 10%, like anything moves 10% in the bull market. So I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna do that when the bull market starts. I'm gonna have a little challenge. I'm gonna start 10% every time I buy something, $1,000, 10% pulling it, 10% pulling it, and see how many trades I can do.
Well, there literally is a math formula for it.
Did you find it?
I just don't know what it is. I found one that was just basically exponentially gaining 1% a day, and that gets wild. That gets wild pretty quick too. Compounding money just gets massive. The problem therein lies that at some point it does stop. Do you know when it stops?
Oh, what I'm saying is if you do it closely enough in the first 4 months, you're guaranteed, right? In the first 4 months of the bull run,
make a bunch.
It's crazy. It's going to be crazy. You just got to be disciplined to be pulling out 10% every time you're up 10%, pulling out, and finding a new asset, jumping back in. Even if it's not a new asset, maybe it's the same asset. You just jump back in, let it move another 10%. And even then, there's going to be days you're going to wake up and your asset is up more than 10% for sure.
Oh, yeah.
There's going to be days it's going to be up 20, 30%. It's going to be running.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
It's going to be pumping.
Yeah. So in any event, the whole point of the thing is that as we do run into this bull run, the part of the reason that we've talked about dollar cost averaging and the boring strategy and whatnot is to try to set yourself up for when the markets actually really run. And then you've got to decide, do you have that game plan in place? What's it look like? Because the numbers can get wild quickly if you're willing to be diligent and have that game plan in place. It's really what it comes down to. I've done exact the opposite of that and just said, let's see what happens here. All right. But we're not in the freaking casino. This is about making exponential returns over a long period of time. At least for me, it's more of a long period thing. So that's why I do hodl for most of mine. But this next run, I will be taking freaking profits. Crusader and I have been talking about how we're going to, be, is this the, hold on a second.
That's the Pythagorean theorem.
A squared plus B squared equals C squared. That's definitely not the answer.
Definitely not it.
But we kept talking about pulling out. The other solution, Sack Nasty reminded us, is right here.
You don't want to compound those interests.
You guys keep us on our toes. We appreciate it. Hey, make sure that you guys are signed up for Trading Wars. We're trying to give you not only 20%, we're trying to give you 20% off trading fees. We're trying to give away some merch today, and nobody's dropped their UID. Nobody's put any money in for Trading Wars for tomorrow. Apparently, nobody wants any merch. Hey, Is what it
Yeah,
is.
dude. I don't know.
Figured we throw it out there.
Excited. People signed up and they're not depositing. I don't get it.
Yeah, we got a ton of people signed up, but people haven't put their deposits in, which is interesting because they're gonna have to deposit to be able to
trade. I don't know.
And Friday's usually payday for people that are just working on at least my guys get paid on Friday. I pay them on Fridays, but whatever. All right. Anyways,
but it's okay.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun no matter what. Whether you guys are just watching or actively trading, just trying your hand at it, whatever the case may be, make sure to give us support. Support us over here, support us on Twitter. We're trying to really grow this thing season 2 after season 1, and we want to just continue to have really good traders. A lot of people talking. Have you seen all the people talking trash on Twitter?
No, I haven't. People talking trash.
Oh, bro. Just trying to I mean, going at like, oh, my group of somebody said something about because it's called ZoomX, and he like made some comment like, oh yeah, all of these freaking trash trading animals. What an appropriate name for.
I did. Did
you see some of that where like people are like, my group of traders, and then I get a phone call from somebody that said, hey, bro, the guy that's talking about his group of traders is the same guy who also dumped on all of his people and ran away with like 50K of their money. So just throwing that out there. I'm like,
yeah, those people are just clout chasing, right? They're upset they're not on the season, they're not on the show, right? And they're like, oh, we're so much better, right? These people are all trash. They gotta talk a bunch of trash to hype themselves up. But the question is, if they ever do get on the show, are they gonna bring it? IRAM says only drop your UID if you made an account today.
Well,
no,
we're gonna
you have an account and it's deposited,
and if there's got money in it.
There's money in there. Drop your UID. We are going to be selecting one of the people that obviously the people that haven't signed up yet or deposited have today as a chance to do it right now.
Yeah.
But if you're already creating an account and it's already funded, drop your UID. We're going to be selecting one person to give away some free merch to.
Yeah, we'll just have to verify it real quick. But I know Crypto Al definitely was somebody that's done that. It sounds like IRAM maybe has done that. It's probably the reason that's being asked. And again, guys, the $100 you get the 20%. But if you're like, hey, I just want to get in and try to see if I can compound $50 or $20, whatever, you can get in at any number. I'm just letting you guys know that. I mean, shoot, Al got in with like $15 and turned it into like 70 like overnight or something. I don't remember. It happened quick. I don't know what he's trading. And Al, shout out to you, bro, because I know you like trading those lower cap on some leverage or whatever. We're letting you guys do that so you guys don't have to trade with the $2 billion market cap rule. You guys can trade anything you want. But that being said, be careful, people, because we've done this before. We have experience. It can get dangerous. It can get volatile. It can get wild. And I don't want anybody, leveraging their home on trying to win $1,000 or more.
No.
Don't be stupid. We love you guys, and we appreciate that. Obviously, we make a little bit of money doing this too, but it ain't worth anything stupid. So be smart. Be smart. We care about you guys. All right, cool. Let's move on to the last couple articles here. I'm going to skip the gaming one, Crusader. I want to go into the budget deficit stuff that we got going on because it gets a little not a little, it gets a lot of wonky. So the $1.7 trillion U.S. budget deficit shattered in 2023 as IMF issues warning on America's worrying and deteriorating fiscal trajectory. I'm only going to read a little bit of this and then tie this into the second article, and then we're going to talk about it. New numbers show the government's spending exceeded its revenues to the tune of more than $1 trillion, almost $2 trillion, in the recently concluded fiscal year. The data comes from the Congressional Budget Office report, which monitors the government's receipts and outlays for the 2023 fiscal year, which ran from October 1st of 2022 to September 30th, 2023. The deficit over the last year surged $1.7 trillion. That's $300 billion more than the budget shortfall recorded in 2022. So check this out. Basically, the government spent $6.31 trillion. Well, they only generated $4.441 trillion. So the first question before I dive into the next article is, where are they trying to make this up? Well, crypto, ladies and gentlemen, you're here and you're wondering why all of this, crazy KYC and the boundaries that they're pulling up and all of the hoopla that they're trying to press into place. I'll tell you what, they're broke and they're looking for any and every way to garner and bring in more money. They don't like the fact that you're in the background trading assets that effectively has not been regulated. So they're trying to just immediately jump in all of these rules, slow things down, blah, blah, blah.
But dude, they don't even need taxes, right? The government doesn't need taxes to operate. The amount of money that the government actually consumes from taxes is so minuscule compared to the amount of spending and just budget that they're managing, that it doesn't
Well,
really,
because of how wildly they spend the money.
yeah, how much money they're spending and how wild the budget has become.
Yeah.
That what the grains of crumb that they're getting from taxes literally represents nothing for them. So even if they collected no taxes, they'd be in the same boat, or they would not be
Because of the
any
wild spending is what you're saying.
yeah, because exactly.
Yeah, because we spend $100 billion like it was buying McDonald's we just printed it anyway.
I mean, they're not printing. They are what is it? Selling bonds, raising debt.
But you know what I'm saying? Like they look forward, saying, "Well, when we get into position, we can just freaking fire up the printing press. We'll just get it back." By silently taxing all of our people.
Yeah. I don't know, man. The dollar is so wild. People still say that the dollar will never collapse. I don't see how it doesn't. I don't see how they can rewind the clock, right? They're gonna have to reset, rebase the currency at some point if they want to keep it alive. But to do that, you have to technically destroy it, because if you rebase to its true value, a dollar bill is no longer a dollar.
No,
right? It's not longer a dollar. You're gonna have to start creating new dollars, like Zimbabwe dollars, with $1 million on the thing, and that's gonna be the new dollar. Because it's just wow, dude. $1 trillion in 4 months, and in the month of October, we're up at 700 billion.
It's disgusting. It's disgusting. Check this out. So is Bitcoin the answer, right? And this is where we're kind of leading. The government has no option except currency debasement, and Bitcoin stands to benefit. I like this. Market analyst from Bloomberg says that Bitcoin will be one of the main beneficiaries from an inevitable return to currency debasement by the U.S. government. Jamie Couch says on the social media platform X that allocating 1% of traditional 60-40 stocks and bonds portfolio to Bitcoin between 2015 and 2022 would have significantly boosted gains for investors. We've been telling people that for a long time. What happens when you reallocate 1% from or from bonds to Bitcoin in this 60-40? Check this out. Look at the freaking returns on this, right? The total returns on rebalancing that look like 76.77% if I'm looking at this correctly, right? And ultimately, what were we at? That's hold on a second. That's a monthly rebalance. I don't know how. That's if they change from 1% from bonds to Bitcoin, they would add a 76%. I don't know what max DD is. Do you know what max DD is?
No, I have no idea.
Okay. I don't know either. Hold on a second. He says that Count says that even the optimized returns from Bitcoin allocation didn't help the average 60-40 portfolio outrun currency debasement that took place during those. Yeah, it's because of how much we've been freaking going crazy with it. The crypto analyst says that as more investors start to factor in currency debasement into their portfolios, hard assets like Bitcoin will stand to benefit, while government bonds will feel pain. For the most non-fiduciary constrained investors, position sizing needs to consider the monetary debasement factor. Nominal returns is a useless measure in the current fiat central bank construct. Based on the U.S. government's finances, debasement is the only option. Bad for bonds, good for hard assets. In our view, bonds will likely be the biggest loser in our future, where portfolio allocators begin seriously considering Bitcoin inclusion in diversified portfolios. He said earlier this month that Bitcoin triggered a bullish signal on Bloomberg's proprietary trading indicators. It was at 26.9. Listen, we've been talking about this for a long time. It's hard money with a cap. That's the problem with fiat. It is the whole problem. It's a lot of the problem.
They're right. A lot of people think, oh, well, I'm making 6% or 7% on my stock in my stock market allocation portfolio. Is that outperforming the inflation? Is that outperforming?
Not really.
The craziness that's happening with the dollar? No. So that 7% doesn't really mean anything. It doesn't mean you're making any real money.
Offsetting some of your losses that you're still taking.
Yeah, you're still taking losses. It's just offsetting the loss. That's the problem. That's the reason why Bitcoin outperforms, and it actually is hard money. It's actually gaining value versus the stock market is not really gaining value. It is artificially propped up and held up there through the market, through the Federal Reserve and what they're doing with the market and the money manipulation that they're doing. But the US dollar, holding US dollars, is not doing you any benefit ever, no matter how many percents you're gaining in the market. It does not outperform the actual problems that are happening with the dollar.
Yeah. And so as we look forward long term, we have this hard asset that's called Bitcoin that isn't controlled by our government, that they can't just print endlessly, that they can't use to fund all of their wars and proxy wars and all the craziness that we have going on in this world today. And it's no wonder that people are looking at this and saying, this is interesting. Now you have Grayscale that applied, fought in court. SEC now doesn't push back. I think they're finally starting to realize this is about to happen. Now people need to strap in. My concern is that it feels, right? A lot of times these feel like a setup sometimes, where it like feels like it's too good to be true with all of the other circumstances surrounding our money right now, that Bitcoin would just blast off and take off. So I'm still kind of reserved and holding back on the idea that we're going to have like a big quick move when the
The
actual
money needs to go somewhere.
it does for sure.
The people that are on top are trying to make money, right? And they, yes, they make a lot of money in their fiat, but they need assets, right? The richest people don't just collect the US dollars in their bank accounts. They're collecting assets, and those assets
Yeah,
are
for sure.
appreciating, whether it's real estate, whether it's, an oil mining rig, a Bitcoin mining machine, whatever it is. They're accumulating assets of some kind to park their money in it to outperform these problems. So the money needs to go somewhere. So they're going to have to park that money. And I believe the parking is going to happen into Bitcoin, into the Bitcoin Spot ETF, into the Bitcoin mining machines, right? That's where the money is going to go so that they can outperform. So, yeah, the prices are low now. Yeah, maybe we're not going to skyrocket tomorrow. But I do believe at some point that these people have been positioning themselves in the background. We're seeing the supply of Bitcoin getting lower and lower and lower on exchanges. I believe that there was a chart where it showed the supply along with like the fluctuations of the market, and Bitcoin supply has never been lower than ever before in any of the previous cycles, even during the bear market. It's at extreme lows, and it's
Which should show confidence.
it's a lot of OTC deals happening, but those OTC deals are going to run out. The mining rig factories that they can go do these OTC deals are going to run out, and they're going to come to a point where like, hey, we're not selling anymore. We're holding it on for ourselves, and that's the scarcity problem. There's not enough for everyone, and the miners are not just going to be giving away their Bitcoin for cheap when they know that the next year or two it's going to be blasting off. So at some point they're going to have to buy at premium prices, and they're going to have to move the price up.
Yeah.
So it's only a matter of time.
It is only a matter of time for sure. Crypto fam, smash that like if you haven't already. Trading War starts tomorrow, 2:45 Eastern Standard Time, right here. First day of trading. Make sure that you guys are signed up. Make sure you put your money in. I don't think I see any.
Candle Daddy says 20% off trades. Sorry, trying to play catch up. Look, you get 20% off trades when the season starts, which is tomorrow. After tomorrow, you start getting 20% off your trades. You get 20% bonus on $100 or more that you deposit onto the platform as your first deposit. And on top of that, whoever is the winner of the audience gets $1,000 minimum. Depending on the volume, that number could be higher, but it's not going to be lower than $1,000 as the prize.
And we're going to give away some merch today. I don't see any UIDs in the chat.
I see 2 new people have signed up.
Okay.
I don't see any new depositors. I still see the same amount of depositors that we have. We could give it to somebody that's already deposited, but they would have to drop their UID in the chat. They would have to be here. I don't think they're here.
Well, I don't know if I know 2 people that are in here that did deposit for sure. Guys, we're trying to give away a little piece of merch here. So get that UID, but if you post that UID, we better be able to see that you've deposited, because obviously that was the deal. I don't know. Maybe that person, I don't want to call them out, but I know 2 people were definitely here that had that in there. So Crypto fam, the just kind of, I'm going to give people a second. If you guys haven't deposited, or you already have, or you're putting your UID, I'll give you a second, because we do want to do that. You can trade any market cap, any asset you want during the whole month for all 4 weeks, 24/7. The traders are going to be stuck at the top 29 assets, which is $2 billion market cap and higher. That's making sure that we're not, accused of pumping any tokens or whatever during the live trade. So that's going to give you guys a big leg up. I think I won't be surprised to see a number of the traders, because they've got 24/7, because they're not being forced into trades, because they do have longer to be able to make corrections and whatnot. I won't be surprised to see a number of them actually be able to beat the teams just because of the constraints. So I guess it'll come down to see who's going to be the best. And if not, hey, then the traders are absolutely killing it, because there's going to need to be some strategies involved. Because when you're forcing people to trade, right, we always talk about it. Don't force the trade. And we're like, hey, for the sake of YouTube. And I've talked to, and so is Crusader, we've talked to some of the teams that are participating, and they're putting together some strategies and some stuff to be good at this. So you guys better, strap in, not strap on. Somebody was asking earlier. Make sure that's
I'm telling you. Burke says UID is in chat. I don't see it.
I don't see it either. He says, put on live chat. I posted. Well, Burke, post it again, because neither of us can see that. I'm scrolling through this whole thing and I don't see it anywhere. I'm double checking.
Yeah, I don't.
But I'm scrolling through the whole thing and I don't see a UID anywhere. I don't think. I mean, I'm going way, way back. Yeah, I don't see it anywhere.
I don't see it anywhere either.
I went all the way back up to the top.
Worst case, we can just do this tomorrow as the competition goes on, get people signed up. We can get it done tomorrow. I want to do it live. I want to pick somebody that's actually on the show live. I don't just want to just somebody that's already done
frivolously throw it away or whatever.
How do we prove?
He said he just posted it again, and I don't see it again. Jump into YouTube real quick and see if you can see it.
I am on YouTube. Is YouTube not allowing that post to go through?
Maybe. I don't know why.
Maybe that's what's happening.
We'll just do it live tomorrow. But we got to figure out why it's not allowing just the string of numbers to be put in. What would it be? What would it be trying to filter from that?
I don't know.
Top chat won't show it. It says top chat won't show it.
That's weird.
Interesting. Okay.
I think what we're gonna have to do. We'll do it tomorrow, but what we're gonna do tomorrow is, unfortunately, you're probably gonna have to jump onto Twitter on our post of the day and comment your UID on there, and then we're gonna go Twitter and we'll pick it up from there. I guess the live chat's not allowing it to go through.
Yeah,
we'll pick it up again tomorrow, and we'll do it live on the show tomorrow.
Okay. Cool. All right, crypto fam. Well, we love you guys. Tomorrow, 2:45 Eastern. Make sure that you guys are here. We love you. Could have been anywhere on a Sunday, but you're hanging out with Debate Crypto. Trading Wars starting tomorrow. Be there. Question everything.
Trust nothing.
And until next time, hodl
like it's hot.
We'll see you soon.